And hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Welsh Chess Chat. My name is FIDE Master Jonathan Blackburn, and I'm joined by... How are you, Alex?
Hi, John. I'm good, thank you. You didn't nearly catch me off guard there. I was just checking my phone, and you brought me on the stream.
To be honest, you can check your phone instead of talking to us. That's probably perfectly fine as well. To be honest, though, I really want to say hello to Dr. Johan Rees. Welcome. Johan, how are you?
Is it working?
Yeah, just don't try and move around too much on your screen, all right? Just try and stay still, because as soon as you do some extravagant moves, it just seems to freeze for some reason. So stay where you are.
Extravagant moves.
Yeah, I mean, you've got you in a t-shirt tonight, Johan. What's going on?
I'm just saying that the heating, we have very little now, so it basically does what it wants.
Right,
Normally it's off, but it's been on a little bit too much. So yeah, I'm in a t-shirt.
Right, okay. I bet your neighbour's having a great time sponging off that. Well,
detached. So.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. I forgot. Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
I was going to say, if he wasn't, I was going to move next door and beat the
yeah. That's all Alex does. He just sponges heat off other people, doesn't he? Just heat rises, so he just doesn't bother.
Well, I mean, it doesn't work, right? I mean, I need a hot water bottle when I'm doing Welsh Chess Chat, but
it's a bit late, so you're not tucked up with all your blankets. I guess we might find out soon, Johan, although he's frozen again to me. Is he frozen for you, Alex, as well?
Yeah, but he's frozen in a good point again. He's still got his cheeky grin, so
that's all right then. Of course, he's showing off his teeth because he used to be still is a dentist. Right, well, on tonight's Welsh Chess Chat, obviously we got a big thing on ratings, and that'll be explained in due course. We could even potentially put on a formula. Is Johan gone?
He did 2 minutes. That's a good
2 minutes. Well, to be honest, that is a lot, really. Obviously, we'll have a look at the Welsh Chess Union calendar. I think also there's, really looking forward to March. I think March is a fantastic month. It's my favourite month as well. And of course, the Welsh Chess Championships is part of March, so we'll be having a look at some of the entrants there, maybe talking a bit more about it. Anything else going on? We do have some chess going on around the world, though, and also online. We've got the junior tournaments happening. Where they're playing against other European nations. There's a Welsh player in Prague. Some players are potentially already in a tournament in Marseille in May, which I quite like the alliteration there. Alex, Marseille in May. Do you like this? Marseille in May?
Has a ring to it, yeah.
Has a ring to it. We do have some off-the-cuff Olympiad news, but not loads, but a little bit. And then if we've got time, we might have a look at one of Alex's games from Titled Tuesday. Although I also have an over-the-board game from Tuesday as well that we could look at too. So first off, Alex, ratings. Do you want to explain what's happened with all these ratings, or shall I leave it to the chat to explain what's gone on?
Yeah, I'll do it. There'll be a touch of irony as I do it. But basically, we're talking FIDE ratings.
Yep.
Rudely interrupted by Johan trying to join. Yep.
Yeah, go on.
You good, Johan? You're just in time for the ratings announcement. If you're going to stick around.
I don't know what on earth is up with my internet, so yeah, I hope so. Because I want to hear this news.
So, for FIDE ratings only, FIDE came up with this bright idea that there was rating deflation, which I think is kind of agreed that there was some level of deflation. And they thought we need to basically inject points back into the world so that to counteract deflation. So far so good. So their solution is that they basically gave free rating points to everybody below 2000 rating, irrespective of how active they are, how old they are, how promising they are, how much they play. Just flat, irrespective of your rating, you get a boost. So free rating points for everyone under 2000. If you're 2000 over, it's tough. You get nothing. So you still have to deal with your deflation. But I mean, it's probably a good news for a lot of people in Wales who have woken up to about 100, 200 free rating points today. So
that much?
Well, up to 400. If you're rated 1000, you'd gain 400, and it was on a scale. And there's a formula that dude in chat loves posting because no one knows.
The formula's not that difficult, really. It's just 2000 minus what your rating is, and then multiply that by 0.4 and add it on. So I could even put it on here, like, you know, let's just add it in, shall we?
Someone's just popped it on, right?
Oh, you beat me to it.
Yeah, see, they love it in chat. They were right.
They do love the rating.
So
in chat.
if you were, let me have a look. If you were 1500, so my maths is a bit dodged. Someone's got a degree in maths here. So what's if you were 1500, say?
Hang on, there's a degree and a half of maths here between me and Alex.
Wait a minute, didn't you do football management?
I did football management.
Yeah, so I'm the mathematician. How's this worked out? I thought I was the stupid one.
Wait a minute, that doesn't mean you're not the stupid one. That means you're the ones that did some maths, right?
He's
you know what I've discovered? What I've discovered in school is that I can do maths. I can't teach it unless I've specifically planned it, because like I can teach science, no problem. Just give me something, I'll teach it now. But maths, like when it comes up, I look at it, I glance at it, I'm like, yeah, I'll teach that, no problem. And then I'm like, wait a minute, I can do this, but I can't like tell you how to do it. So maths is actually in like a different bracket, isn't it? It's like, yeah, you kind of have to, you do have to plan out how you're going to teach maths.
You've got to understand it to its core, I think, is the issue. And like you figure out how to do things, and you can do it your way. But when you realize there's actually like 4 different ways of doing it, you have to have complete understanding of the actual core basics. Knew beforehand. So yeah.
Well, I found this coaching chess, right, John? I don't know if you found the same, but like you know, when I started coaching, like around when we met Alex and stuff, but like I found I actually just got better at chess, because you know, when you teach something, you kind of get better at doing that thing yourself. So.
Well, I think that's actually a really interesting point, because actually a lot of people told me before I went into chess coaching full time was that actually many chess coaches actually drop off in rating as you teach chess. And I don't know whether it's the case that you have your brain on other things or not. You getting an echo, or am I getting an echo?
Yeah, there is something weird going on.
You've got a video going on in the background, either you two, or have I got one?
I'm not.
No, is there still an echo now? I've turned my volume down.
No,
that's better.
That's better, yeah. It's Alex, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. It's Alex.
It's because you're so loud, John. Like
it's so weird, like, isn't it, when you can hear multiple stuff, right? Yeah.
It's worse when you hear yourself. But I don't mind an echo. Like when the echo is you, though, that's the issue, I think. No one wants to hear themselves.
You can blame it on me. It's fine. I'm all right with that. Right. Okay.
What you're saying is right, John. Do you know what I mean? You see a lot of coaches, they go down and in rating, and I definitely went up. And yeah, I guess I don't know how you think about it and stuff, but I learned from coaching stuff. I learned more in depth, and I used that. So it was really useful. Like I definitely got better, like teaching. And
I think the other big thing is that I couldn't take quick draws anymore because I was telling my kids. The students, you can't take draws.
Okay.
And so
that's interesting.
So therefore, if they're watching my game,
leading by example.
Yeah, exactly. So it did change my play, and yeah, no, you're exactly right. But back to ratings, which is where we were. So obviously this rating's gone in. Obviously they've raised the floor from 1,000 to 1,400. Are you happy for this change, Johan, on the ratings? Are you happy?
Yeah, great. I think the more rating points that are in the system, the more that we're going to pick up, right? So I think from the point of my objective to get better and potentially get some form of title, then yeah, that's going to make that easier. So I'm happy.
Yeah, and Alex, do you think there's going to be? Do you think we're going to see much of it? I mean, with me and you are kind of in the same rating range. How long do you think it's going to start drifting through? Have we done any maths, any research to say, well, like look at how many people you played over the past 20, 30 games to see if the ratings had been already increased, what that would have changed? Or
well, I mean, the way I see it, you kind of, if you want to take advantage and not wait for the points to filter through multiple people, you need to play tons of chess in like March and April to get these people at source. These people who've gone from 1,600 to 1,760, from 1,700 to 18 something, that's a big gap. But they're not going to stay at their like inflated ratings for long, because as soon as they play, they'll go back down.
Well, will they though?
Depends. No, I think it's not quite like that, because the people who are there, let's just say you're saying they're inflated and they're going to lose that rating. That rating's going to someone, right? It's going to someone, and you'll be playing that person. So it's not necessarily you need to get in there quick, because actually whoever they're losing that rating to, you are also going to be playing.
Okay, but here's an example. Say I could play a tournament with 5 people who've just had inflated ratings by maybe 200 points. And I could take those points at source and say, there's a huge chance that I'm going to gain rating. Or I can wait for John to do that and take the rating off them. And then you can say, yes, John is now 2260. So you can say, well, he's 70 points higher than he was. But I'd still have to beat John to get those points, which if I do it, I get more and I lose less if I lose to him. But still, that's harder than just tapping them from source.
The point is, it's not quite tapping at sources. Like during a tournament, every single game you play, whether you win, lose, or draw, you're basically going to be gaining more rating or losing less rating.
Your expected value, shall we say?
Your every game, it's going to be positive for you. Literally every game, basically. If I just have a think about the congresses that you've played recently, like pretty much not every game, but let's just say 3 out of the 5 games, you're going to get more points. If I think about the games I'm playing at the moment, or the last few months, I actually probably need to wait to get this value, because I haven't played anyone below 2000 for a really long time. So I have to actually wait for these people to gain off the people below. Like, at the moment, if I just played, then I haven't played anyone under 2000 for a really long time. So,
it sounds like he was on a roll then. Is he frozen for you?
Yeah, he made a solid point, and he's like, I'm not going to let anyone reply to my point. So he's just left the stream now, and he just dropped it and gone.
Okay, well, we hope he joins us, but I think his point's a valid one. I think we do actually need to wait for these people that are rated maybe 1900 to play against the 1700s, the new 1700s, the new 1800s. And if they're still on average 200 points better than them, then they'll start to increase. They'll go above 2000. All of those people in that 2000 to 2100 range will play against the 1900s, the 1800s more often. They'll gain rating, and then eventually they'll play against us, and it'll push everything up. But I guess it does bring in some. Well, for me, it brings in a little bit of an ethical point of view as to, like, if you became an IM, so let's say you became a FIDE master, let's say you got over 2300 a few years ago when this rating deflation has happened, you'd be, and then you stop playing chess, and then somebody else does it now in the next 1 to 2 years. What is the quality of that master title at that point? But then again, I do also ask the question, like, I been 2200 for many years now, or around that area, and actually I've improved massively since start. We're talking 20 years nearly that I've been 2200, and yet I was a significantly terrible player 20 years ago than I am now. So the quality of the strength of a player is changing massively. It's always relative to everybody else in the system, shall we say?
Yes, I agree, and I think if I take maybe an even better example, let's take Tim. As someone after the 2022 Olympiad, Tim was 2200, right? I think went over 2200 or very close to.
Yeah,
he shot right up, and within a year he went down to 2040, which for Tim Kett was outrageously low. So he obviously suffered through rating deflation. He's now fought his way back to 2100. So he's clearly, his rating is lower than it was historically, not because he's a worse player, but because of who he's played. So why shouldn't Tim get some rating points given to him now?
Oh, you want rating points to be given to him now?
Why not? Why give it to people? Just say, oh well, your rating's below 2000, have rating points. But someone who lost at some point 150 elo doesn't get any compensation for it.
Well, I think long term, if he keeps playing, he'll get those rating points.
He has to work for it. Why should people get handouts when other people have to work for it? Like, this is the point. Why? It doesn't make any sense. It should be on the number of games you've played since X, maybe post-pandemic. And if you've played loads of games, you get maximum amounts. If you haven't played, you don't get anything. Like, you don't deserve points.
So you want You want it to be more fairer but more complicated. Is that
because it should be based on activity. You can't say I've suffered through rating deflation if I haven't played chess. Like, of course you haven't. If you haven't played, you can't. Your rating hasn't suffered.
Because I mean, I've got some 2100s that live near me who I know would not be 2100 again if they played, but they haven't played for like 10 years, and they might play maybe 1 or 2 games.
Okay. But by the same example, say there's probably somewhere some 1700, right? Who is nowhere near 1700 standard anymore because they've not played for ages. They're well past it, and now they're worth 1850. Well, why have you given them 150 rating points if they're not even 1700 standard? Like, it doesn't make sense. They don't play. Why are you rewarding them?
I mean, I think a better measure personally would be actually your ranking number in the world. And maybe what they're trying to do is they're trying to have, or maybe a percentage of players. They're trying to maybe have a percentage of players that make the GM title, the percentage of players that make the International Master title, percentage of FMs, CMs, and so on. And what they're seeing overall is that there's not enough people making those titles, in their opinion, FIDE's opinion, shall we say, and they're boosting this rating system in. Now, okay, it's not fair. I agree that they get them for free and people haven't played, get them yet. Okay, fair enough. But basically, this is going to increase ratings in the next year or so. These are all going to filter through, and I think it will filter through quite quickly for those that are active. And actually, for example, what should I gain over this next year? Do you think? Because my rating, if people below me ratings going up, I played worked out. I played like 36 games or something like that over the summer, playing 4 people higher rated than me. How much am I going to gain because of this? I mean, it could be just a cheap 50 points, right?
Well, I would argue 1 rating point per game.
Is that what you reckon it would be? 1 rating point per game?
Well, 1 rating point per game better off than you would be without it.
Okay.
I can't see you're going to gain 1 rating point per game. You might play terribly.
Yeah.
But say if you lose 50, well, I'm saying you probably might have lost 100 before.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Okay. So that could be quite a huge amount then. To be honest, if everybody's doing that and everybody's gaining in some way, then it's going to just shift everybody up a little bit. But I guess we'll have to see the stats later on. I mean, it is what it is.
Before we move on for rating, I'll say I've probably bored you with it before, but I think the rating system's so stupid. What they should have, in tennis, right? They have a rating system, and it's based on a 12-month rolling period.
Okay.
So we should do that in chess. You have your rating, and it's just based on how well you've done the last 12 months. So say, for example, Daniel won the Welsh last year with 7 out of 7. So he now would have a huge rating because he did really well there, and he's done quite well since. When the Welsh comes around, unless he scores 7 out of 7, he loses ranking points because you would then lose that tournament. You have to get his new Welsh performance would then count for his ranking, and then you're saying, well, yeah, 13 months ago he was the best, and you might say either is or isn't now, and his rating will reflect that. Again, why are people being rewarded for something they did 20 years ago? And people say, oh, the rating system is broken. Well, if it's only in the last 12 months, it'll never be broken. You won't be over or underrated. You'll be bang on.
Not necessarily the problem, but maybe the difference between tennis and chess is that in tennis, physical fitness can change quite quickly, whereas I'm guessing your mental decline is maybe not as different. And for example, what you're arguing there is that somebody could be a GM 20 years ago, but when they come back into it and not play for 20 years, they come back where you say, well, you're not a GM anymore, but you're not an IM, you're not an FM. In fact, you're rated as 1400 again.
Yeah, I mean, they keep their GM title.
Okay.
It's like the GMs you have who are 2100. Well, they know they're not GM standard.
Yeah, not anymore.
But they're still a GM. You back in the day, you deserved it. Well played.
And I guess the other question that this really brings in, Alex, and maybe you can think about it, is that some people are saying that this rating deflation, I did see a post before from somewhere, I can't remember where it was from, that this rating deflation idea actually was a bit of a myth, and actually it was basically purely down to the pandemic and underrated juniors as to why ratings have gone down. Do you think there's anything in that? Or is that just kind of too much of a smaller snapshot window in the general scheme of things?
Yeah, I mean, I think possibly it existed before, but I think that the point that people didn't play for 2 years and had the opportunity to improve a lot during that period, meant that you did get some underrated people after that.
I've got to put this comment on chat. I'm sorry, Alex. Fair play. That's made me laugh. Oh, hang on. Here he is. He's popping up. He's popping up. So he disagrees with you, Alex.
Is that Johan?
Yeah, that's Johan.
Oh, well, at least I know how to join the stream, so...
That's anything to go by, then you're going to win this argument pretty easily.
No, so he only likes the rating system because he got his rating when he was a kid and he's just sat on it ever since, Johan, hasn't he? If Johan played as many games as we had, he'd be about 2,000 by now.
Ooh, scathing. Well, we'll see. Hopefully. I mean, he hasn't actually entered the Welsh yet, has he? So, because we do want to take those rating points off him, don't we?
Yeah.
Bring him down a peg or two.
We wanted to do well at 4 in Seattle, and then at the Welsh, he just donates his rating points.
Well, I tell you what, let's have a look at some other ratings because there might be some changes. So we'll start with the Welsh Chess Union ratings today.
I love that you say there might be some changes. Like, you know, most people in Wales play almost every week. Like, we're not all just like you. Like, there will definitely be
hang on a minute. He might be about to respond to you. Johan, welcome back.
He's not here.
He's not got his headphones on, so he can't hear.
Yes.
He doesn't realise he's on.
I can't see him.
I've just added him on.
Oh, there he is. Hello, Johan.
I mean, he always seems to just freeze. Basically, we're just listening to him freeze all the time, right?
Okay. I don't even know if you can hear you.
Can you hear us, Johan?
Yes, I can. But
you can.
Just before you get frozen again, Alex.
Oh, wait a minute. Am I not frozen?
No, you're good. You're good. You're fine at the moment.
Hello. Okay. Like, I can always hear you guys, but you obviously can't hear me, and I'm like, okay, I was just watching on Twitch.
Yeah, basically, Johan, Alex has just savaged your viewpoint on the rating system, saying that you got a high rating when you were young and you just sat on it basically for year after year.
I've gone down loads since I was younger, actually.
Exactly. So therefore, you should just keep coming down. Your actual real rating should be maybe 2100 or something like that. What do you have to say about that?
I think it depends, like, on what you're talking about, standards and stuff. I'm definitely better than I ever was, right? I'm sure of that. Like, me now would beat the crap out of me as, like, an 18-year-old. Like, but I was, like, 2350 back then, right? So I'm not sure about the whole, like, as much as people make out for deflation. People make a big deal out of it. It's not a big deal. I don't think it's that big a deal, but it has happened for sure. But, I think, I think it's only because I'm not playing over the board that much, basically, that my rating's gone down a bit.
Okay, well, just had a quick look at the Welsh Chess Union ratings, and there hasn't really been much change from last week, I'm afraid. So I'm just going to skip on to the differences.
Wait, hold on. How's my rating gone down? I haven't lost any games.
You're not very... Hang on, you're on 5, right?
I was +8 and I won a game, and I'm now +5.
I don't know, Alex. I mean,
maths teachers, explain this to me.
So,
it's because they have a blank there for UN Cave, right? So I lost 8 points because I drew someone rated 0, but he's not 0.
Oh, so you've got a blank there for you and Cave.
I'll give him a week or so to fix it. No.
Okay, well, I'm sure I missed that.
No.
Oh, he's frozen again. He's not coming back, is he, Johan? Well, he'll have to just type in the chat, I think. Okay, differences there. Saying Patrick Bourne's at the top, followed by a load of juniors as well, which is good, and Sam and Kevin too. Well done to you guys, but I don't think there's that much change on this. Were we getting a WCPL update, or was that last week? Did we do that last week?
We did. Remember, I showed the game last week.
Oh, of course, yes.
But there is WCPL this coming weekend, I think.
Oh, fantastic. We'll have a look on the calendar in a second.
Yes.
Most played games, who's going to be at the top?
Well, we know, don't we?
Do we need to ask? It's our boy, Steve Williams.
Oh, who'd have thought that?
Go on, Steve Williams. Putting in a great effort of 33 games there. You know, this is Herculean effort to keep Joshua McKenna in second place, who is gaining rating this month, which is these few months, which is fantastic to see as well.
Yeah, it won't be much consolation. If anyone here in chat knows Josh McKenna, do you just want to drop him a little message, make sure he's doing okay? Because he'll obviously be devastated to see he's not top for the most games played. We as a community, we need to check on these people.
As a community, yeah, because well, I mean, you know, basically it's his title. Really, he's effectively the first one to claim the official title. It's basically when records started counting. Even though we might have had previous winners, are we the ones that have actually stated that this is a championship and a title to be held?
Well, I mean, I think we need a sponsor, really, and then we can make it a proper reward, right?
Yeah, well, I was actually thinking that we could maybe do an awards night for most played games at the Welsh Championships. And actually, it would be in the packet on Saturday night.
Oh, yeah, sign me up.
How's that sound? So I'll tell you what, I'll do a little poster for it next week, and we'll get that sorted, and we'll invite everybody down, and we'll see if we can get Josh down to collect his trophy from. I'll try and get something small from my local trophy guy, and Johan's in. You know, he's in, and everybody's invited. Obviously, over 18s only, of course, or 18, I guess technically. And yeah, we'll do a little reward for him for his previous 6 months' work.
That'll be nice. Yeah,
that'd be good.
Packet's a solid night out as well. There was only 3 of us there last year at the Welsh. We need a good group this time.
Oh, this is great! I love that. I love that comment. That's fantastic.
Oh God.
2200 mug. I think I said a comment last week about some mug or something. That's brilliant. I love that one. Good. That is class. I tell you
Chat's
what.
Chat's on form tonight.
Chat is on form, I must admit. I would actually drink out of that mug as well. Like, even in my business meetings, you know, people wouldn't understand what was going on. Okay, right. So that's most played games, difference, and ratings. Obviously, not loads of change, but some. Well done to Steve Williams on 33 games as well. And yeah, that's an update for those. Let's have a look at the calendar. The calendar is absolutely heaving at the moment. We've got some real good success. This junior team blitz. I don't know how successful this part is actually, but let's have a little look about who's actually signed up. So teams of 3 basically, and it can be 3 random players, I think. So naturally, 3 brothers have come together in a team. I believe that there's more entries than this. There's only 3 teams of 3, so 9 entries. But I believe from what I've read through some WhatsApp chats that there might actually be more entries than this already.
I mean, you'd hope so, because it's the day after tomorrow and it's an 11-round tournament. So
an 11-round tournament.
So you'd like there to be, 12 teams ideally, but
well, would they do
or
it
6 for a double round or plural, I guess.
Would they do it like? Can they do it individually if there's 12 players, maybe, and then count the scores up at the end? Do an individual one rather, so they might have to play their teammates, but it kind of like doesn't really count.
I mean, I'm glad it's not my problem to sort out.
Yeah, okay.
It's a shame. It's a shame if there isn't, but hopefully, there are more teams or more will scramble together last minute, because that would be quite sad if it was.
Well, the thing is, they're trying out different things. If people like it, great. I mean, there's probably quite a lot of juniors that would maybe want to play in it, but maybe haven't got a team, and so it's maybe something for next time. Maybe they could, because one thing they've done with the Welsh primary schools and secondary schools individual team championships is you look at this. They've actually got the individual section as well next to it, which means that random juniors that haven't got teams can actually come in. So I think that's fantastic. But you look at the entrance to this one, and secondary school teams. They've got 7 there. It's primary school teams. I can't even count. It's too big a number for me. I think that's fantastic. You think this is teams of 4, and really filling up now, actually. And actually, there's still 2 weeks to go, 3 weeks to go.
Yeah, I mean, I think you definitely want to see a few more primary school teams in there. But I think even when I was playing the senior schools one, I think at some point we had like a 6-team all play all. So yes, it's good to see, albeit it's 3 schools putting in 7 teams, but it's good to see it well supported. And you're not at the stage where you have, a number of teams that makes it awkward to run.
Yeah,
so if they can get to 10, that would be amazing for secondary. But even if they can pump it to 8, that would be a solid number, right?
Yeah, I mean, I did one in Staffordshire and I think it was 11 teams coming. But the difference was I had it on half a day on a Wednesday, midweek, and the teachers brought them. And that's different to doing it on a weekend day when you're trying to get the parents to bring them, or maybe a teacher will do it, but I doubt it as much. They won't be as inclined to do it on the weekend. So it's a bit of a different thing there. But yeah, 3 schools bring in most of the teams for secondary, but it's still a good number of players coming to play at the moment. Get more high schools involved. Make sure you're spreading the word about this. Chat through to whoever you can to get them involved. One parent can basically bring an entire team and have their children entertained for a day. I hope I'm okay saying that. And then primary schools, how many actually is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. So, okay, 48 children there already is basically what we're saying at the moment with 2 weeks to go. That would be fantastic if they get hit, double that number before the entry. Because I bet they've probably still got entries that they haven't just updated yet that show on the website. So hopefully get the entries in now. And look at this. We've also got 3 other players here who just haven't got a team. And it would be great if they had one more player and then they could have a team of randoms.
Yeah.
I think that'd be fantastic. Although that's primary school individuals, so they would actually go down here. We've got no secondary school individuals going on. Okay, right. Well, that's that tournament. That's at the Cardiff Business School, which is a new venue, I believe. So well done to everybody that, by the way, that got that venue. Let's see. Hope it's a good one, because we maybe have a discussion about venues as well in a second. You already mentioned, so we got the WCPL and under 1850 taking place this weekend as well. Good luck to everybody playing in that. Are you playing, Alex? Or can't you say?
No comment.
No comment. Okay, no comments. So then you got a weekend off in between. I haven't got the weekend off in between. On the 9th, it's actually our English Primary Schools Chess Association Under-9 Championships, Midland Zone or Northern Zone. So,
individual or team?
No, it's a team of 12 plus 4 reserves if you want to fill them. We have to travel to the Wirral this time to play against other counties. I've got a Staffordshire team going that I'm going with. But yeah, we won't be here for the primary schools and secondary schools one, will we, Alex? Because where will we be?
Oh, 4NCL.
Yeah, you're the manager. You're meant to know. We'll be at the 4NCL. But the big one, though, is obviously the Welsh Chess Championships. And I've even received, have you seen it, Alex? I've received abuse online about this as well.
Not rightly, because the problem is, John, you're all talk and then no action.
All talk, no action.
Let's have a look at the entrance then.
There's a great comeback to that, but I can't say it really on chat, on our stream. So yeah, basically, I did post last week and I showed you even where I got abuse from Alex for not entering. I got abuse from Joe Fatawa for not entering. And the person that's going to abuse me now on Facebook is Jose Camacho's gone and mugged me off, hasn't he? And he posted on there that he's entered before me. And fair play, great to see his name down there as well. Putting a marker in the sand, not allowing Greg to be the number 1 seed for even just a few days. He got in basically the day after, I think it was. But it's been like this for the past few days, hasn't it, Alex? I think we've been refreshing it every few hours or something like that. I think, yeah.
Well, some people are busy working, so they're not refreshing it all the time. Plus, it's a nice treat to do it on a Thursday. But this is the problem, John. You said, I'm going to be the first to enter. I'm going to be first to enter. I'm going to win the whole thing. And now Jose is like, right, not having this from this guy. Splat him out of the way. Mug him off in the comments. Mug him off in the tournament. Then mug him off after. So
basically, I just set myself up for a mugging off, which is perfectly fine by my standards. I love it. But yeah, no, great to see Jose in there, Greg and and Joe was the first one. So well done to Joe for being the first one. But he's not liking it at the moment. I think there's a few comments saying, "Well, hang on a minute,
Well,
if nobody else enters."
But here's the thing, right? Think this through. Round 1, Joe gets the bye whilst Greg and Jose play each other.
Ooh.
They could play 6 hours, take chunks out of each other. They either draw or one of them wins. Joe Fatala, he's just been sat there prepping for him. He's fresh for the afternoon game, gets a second win. He's on 2. They're both on half. He's won it on the first day.
Do you know what? I think that would be a great story. It's almost like a story that would be made into a movie at some point. So I think we should just completely just close down entries now. Nobody else is allowed to enter the Welsh, just so we can see that play out and actually happen.
So we'll all enter the Open, right? And then we can just watch.
Yeah, let's all enter the Open and just do it that way. Okay, we've got 6 entries in the Open as well. So the major Open and the Welsh Championships. I think this is quite important that is actually open to non-Welsh players as well. So if you're not Welsh D-Day rated, it does not matter. You can go into the Open section. This is welcome. So if you want a sunny weekend in Cardiff, sunny long weekend in Cardiff, North Cardiff, then by all means that is the place to go. And guess who's the names in there already?
Mr. Josh McKenna and Stephen Williams.
And Steve. Well, hang on. Is that the same Stephen Williams? I thought it was Steve Williams.
It's just Stephen Williams.
Well, it's just as a common name, so I was just checking.
I'm sure it's the same one. Like, I mean, even if he hasn't entered, he will, right? Because it's an opportunity to play 7 games, so it's moot whether he's entered or not.
But my question to you is what we're seeing here? Is this Steve marking Josh?
I don't know who got in first, but possibly. Maybe Steve's watching now and going, "Oh, I'm liking my airtime tonight."
Yeah, maybe he just is. Maybe I think he's marked Josh there personally. I think that Josh entered. He saw he entered. Thought, right, I've got to mark that. He's got. If he just enters everything that Josh enters now, then Josh has got no chance, right?
Yeah, and do you know, funnily enough, there is a tournament next weekend in Wales, and I think I look at the entry list, and I'm pretty sure both Stephen Williams and Josh McKenna have entered that.
Go on, guys. And it's
that's like some tiny little town in the middle of nowhere that's like impossible to get to, and they're both straight in.
I love it. I think it's fantastic, and well done for putting the effort in. There was one mute point about the Welsh Championships that was raised, and I think it's actually a very fair one. And I guess we wouldn't be doing our job if we didn't bring it up. It's not to do with the Under-21 Championships or the Welsh Ladies Championships. It's to do with the venue itself, which is a shame to hear this. That it's not actually disability friendly, I guess, because it's in the basement and there's no lift down to it. And there's actually quite a lot of stairs. And yeah, Alex, anything to say on that we're allowed to say, or I don't know?
Well, first of all, can you scroll down a bit on that page you're on? Doesn't it usually say something about, it says players with mobility issues should contact the tournament director before entering. So they've clearly given this some thought, but if it's not accessible for them, is that saying, basically that's a nice way of them trying to say you basically can't enter if you have mobility issues, because you'll contact us and we'll say the venue's not accessible. And I would question whether that falls under some kind of discrimination act. I'm not sure about everything, but obviously I think the good thing about chess is how accessible it is, right? To people in general, you say you can play any age, any gender, it doesn't matter who you are. You can play.
Doesn't matter.
Exactly. So I think to have people not being able to play because of mobility issues is a shame, and I think something you'd maybe like the WC to think about and say, actually, we want to be inclusive, and especially, I'm sure the Welsh Championships will have a reasonable entry, but we're not in a position where we can be turning down potential entries, I'd say, to any tournaments.
Yeah, I guess the point is it's been there for a few years now, and I guess they haven't had any issues, or maybe this hasn't been made a big point, and so therefore, why not keep it there? I guess they've probably got a good relationship with the hotel. They know what it's like, and also, I guess, at the same thing, they might get a good rate for it in some way. I don't know, but I guess we do need the members of the Welsh Chess Union, the people in chat, the parent groups, everybody to be searching around for venues, maybe to help the Welsh Chess Union out. Was there an alternative venue option? Was it just too expensive? We don't know, obviously, the back end details of this, but I do believe we should be trying our best to make it accessible to everybody. There is a point that you can actually, for example, if it's a wheelchair-based person, then they can actually go around the back and down out into the fire escape to get into the venue. But you did raise a very good point that actually the problem is that, well, what happens if they need to go to the toilet? That it would just be too much for them to go out and around, wouldn't it, to get there?
Yeah, because it's up 2 flights of stairs and then down some stairs in. And I mean, I assume there's a disabled toilet somewhere, but I've never actually seen one there. But I guess there is. But yeah, I mean, it's
just not
practical,
doable, is it really?
I mean, I thought it was going to be in North Wales this year anyway.
Did you?
After someone's little outburst last year.
Well, hang on a minute. You know, that outburst last year about it being in North Wales, I think, I mean, considering I travelled down to it, I said, that's just ridiculous. You know, how can you not have the Welsh Championships in the capital city of Wales? I mean, that you can't ever complain about that, can you?
No, I agree, but you know, it's been a long time since I've moaned about that. So a little sliding.
Just wanted to get it off your chest, did you? Okay, well, obviously the venue, obviously nothing can be done at the moment. I'm guessing, and you know, if we find out other details in due course, then we'll obviously report them back. But maybe for next year, if it is still the same and the exact case, then you know, ask the question, get us helping out. I'm sure people would love to help out find a new venue. Maybe one where we can put maybe a red carpet out the front, get some press involved, to have electronic screens for people to watch, maybe put some seats down for viewers. And I mean, it kind of was described as by one parent as some seedy basement in some hotel where the Welsh Chess Championships, a load of old men just play chess. Which I guess is kind of accurate in most chess tournaments. But okay. Let's move on. Okay, so that's the calendar. What was next on my list, hit list? Welsh Chess Championship heats up. Obviously, we've done that. Junior Online. Oh, I forgot to actually load this up. So we'll move on to the Welsh player in Prague, and I'll come back to that. So actually, here we have a picture of our Welsh player in Prague.
I've got a photo of him.
Yeah, I've got a photo of the guy. He doesn't even know it. It's not his photo.
Is it not?
No, it's not. No,
So he didn't send it to you.
He did not. So Ethan doesn't know that he's making the appearance on the Welsh Chess Chat tonight. One honour. I think he's probably going to go home and tell all his family about it. But he played against this young girl, and one of my Staffordshire colleagues, shall we say, who's a very nice guy. He's friends with her mum. They came to play at the Crew Congress, and she's got another brother as well. And they're playing a lot of chess everywhere, and he's just constantly messaging them all the time, saying how are you and everything. This is she's playing against Ethan Rathbone-Jones over here. So I did look at the score, and he won his game today against her. I thought it would have been a bit bad if I maybe put a photo on there, and he maybe travelled to Prague all that way and then loses in round 2 would be quite bad. But let's look how he's getting on, because actually, to be fair to Mr. Rathbone-Jones, I want to actually, pick something else out actually about what he's doing, which is fantastic. But here, this is round 2, and if we scroll all the way down here, see the only Welsh entrant. Here he is. We can see that he won his game against the Maya, only 1500. He played in the first round though. Another junior, an Indian junior, rated 2400, Ilan Parthi.
Oh, great!
I am fantastic first round opponent. But at least it was only like a year ago he was rated like 1700 or something like that, I think.
Oh, really?
Or 1900, something like that. He was below 2000 like a year ago.
So he's played him at the right time then, right?
Yeah, played him at the right time. He only lost 1 point for it. So, and then he's actually plus 0.6 at the moment, technically, which is quite good. And he's got a 2180 tomorrow, I'm guessing. I'm guessing it's 1 game a day. So good luck to Ethan over there. I hope he does well. Now, if I just go back actually here and just go back again, I did a little search for Mr. Rathbone-Jones here. And the other thing that I looked down the list, and the way that I searched for him, I looked for 2024, right? So that's 2019, 2018. I see 2024 Prague. That's the one that I want. And then I just caught my eye just going down a couple more rows. And what have we got here? A cheeky little Reykjavik Open.
Yeah, he was telling me about this. He's got a little trip with a lot of his foreign sail team. They're going.
Oh, has he now? Very sneaky and very cool. So he's basically playing in Prague. So this is basically, he's either going to completely ditch the Welsh, or this is his prep for the Welsh, right?
I think his prep for the Welsh.
I mean, he's playing in Prague. He's going to be shattered, though. I mean, playing in Prague. What date does Prague finish, actually?
It's right there, 7th of the 3rd.
7th of the 3rd, right? Reykjavik starts on the 21st. Okay, so he's got a little bit of a break.
Finishes on the 21st.
Finishes on the 21st, does it?
Yeah, that date will always be the finish, the one you looked at.
Oh, this date's the finish, is it? 21st.
Correct.
So when does it start?
I don't have an answer to that.
All right, hang on.
I guess just over a week before. It usually runs for like a week and a half, and it starts on a weird day of the week, which is why I've never really considered it.
Okay, so it's March the 15th to March the 21st.
Okay, exactly a week, yeah.
Okay, right. I mean, I remember, I think, was it last year that Linda played in Reykjavik and then literally the next day came to play the Welsh but had a bye in the first round or something? Was that right? Was that last year or the year before? I'm getting so lost.
I'm not sure. I know Linda used to be a regular in Reykjavik, yeah.
Right, well, fair dues. Well played. Well, great effort, Ethan. I don't know how you can afford it because it's, I mean, maybe he can get some, if he's going with a few friends, then maybe he can get some cheap accommodation when you compile it all together.
I think he said they've got an Airbnb.
It's the only way to do it, though, isn't it, really? If you're going to play all these tournaments, then you have to be able to follow them, because I've never played in Prague and I've never played in Reykjavik. So I'm extremely jealous, actually, at the moment of him. But fair play, and good on him for getting that tournament. And maybe we'll see him shooting up in the played section for how many games he's played. Won't that be what? I don't know, 18 games or something to add on?
I think Reykjavik's 10 rounds, so could even be 19.
Well, Ethan Rathbone-Jones wants that title, doesn't he? Of most played games. So there he is, he won that second game. Well done, Ethan. Good luck in your future games.
Watch now, though. Josh McKenna's on Skyscanner flights to Reykjavik.
Or Steve Williams. They're going to have to mark him at some point, aren't they? They're going to start marking him. Okay, so another thing that I got sent is that Marseille in May is happening. So it looks like that some of our local heroes, Joe Fatala, here he is signed up to Marseille in May, as well as Sam Dukes. And we've also got Steve Smith and Dale Westcott. Looks like they're going to go have a great time in the south of France, drinking. What do they drink in France? Wine, yeah.
Wine, unfortunately, yeah.
Drinking wine on the Riviera, playing some chess, and yeah, I guess if you want to join them, if you like them, then go and play it yourself.
If you like them.
Well, what are you going to say by yourself if you don't? I don't know. No, I think this is great, actually, because I think this group of players kind of do quite a lot of tournaments together, and I think that's something that's really good about chess, that they've got this common hobby that they share, and they're actually able to go around playing in it, and they're going to be playing a tournament with quite a few GMs here, a few IMs as well, so they get a few chances at a good shot, which is what we want to see. And then it looks like it's only 38 entrants at the moment, so it looks like there's a few more. But obviously not trying to advertise a French tournament over a Welsh tournament, of course. I mean, there's clearly some more things going on. Right, what's next, Marseille, mate? Olympiad news. Would you like to hear the Olympiad news, Alex? I'm sure you do.
Well, if it's actual news, yeah.
Okay, if it's actual news. Okay, well, the Olympiad news, I will quote verbatim. I have now received the invite to the Olympiad in Budapest in September. There's no website about it yet, but more details will be available from the 10th of March. Howard is organising a selection committee. So it looks like things are actually happening, and apparently we've been invited. I didn't think Wales were going to get invited this year. Did you?
I wouldn't invite us personally.
No, I wouldn't invite us. No. I think we should. Yeah, I don't know why the FIDE want Wales in the Olympiad. That's just. I mean, we're not even. And to them, we're not. Well, if Nigel Short's in charge, we're not even a proper country, are we?
Oh, for Nigel, yeah. He's had too many mentions this stream already.
He has, hasn't he? We need to. Yeah, we can't give him too many. Okay, not much information really, but at least it's something better than nothing. We kind of knew it was happening already. I mean, the Olympiad in Budapest has actually got a whole new building built because of it, or something. Budapest. Olympiads.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
they usually do, right? Because Batumi they did, and the whole thing in Chennai was completely new, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, Chennai was put together so well, so quickly. You know, you expect some things.
But I'm surprised Budapest just doesn't have somewhere for that, to be honest.
They've got this. I mean, it's going to turn into basically some sort of events hall in the future. There's even hang on a minute, Budapest chess venue Olympiad. This is just basically my googling. What's going on now? I've actually seen a video of where it's at. No, I mean, I'm not even in the team, so I don't know why I'm looking. I'll load it up maybe for next week and we can have a look then. But okay, at least there's something happening on that news, and we will get some more updates next week on the Olympiad, because the Welsh Championships might have an impact on that, because that's going to be obviously the biggest tournament that will have an impact on Olympiad selection. However, it could just come down to FIDE ratings. Who knows what the criteria might be? Or maybe ECF ratings, or WCU ratings, or rapid ratings.
Don't get me started.
Get him started. He'll go. Okay, right. Well, we blitzed through that, Alex. So we can maybe get some chess actually on the board. Did you want to show your Title Tuesday stuff, or?
Yeah, mate.
You do. Okay.
I can do. I think I should be sharing. I should be sharing screen now.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to put this on the screen just for people to see, because Wales Juniors did play in the European Youth Online League on Wednesday, and actually they had great success. They beat Greece 3.5, 2.5. So they've won another match. So well done to that team: Ellison, Yaroslav, Lucas, Kushi, Emma, and Raga, who did very, very well. And actually, you know, I mean, Ellison, he was 1530 rated, and you beat this Michael, who's 2000 rated. You'd be pretty annoyed with that. But I think maybe these ratings are a little bit off. I think Ellison's maybe better than that, and it is online ratings, isn't it? I think
that'll be his FIDE rating, though, right, Ellison? I mean, I imagine his FIDE rating is well. I mean, probably not anymore. I guess as of today, he'll be now 1700 something. But,
probably, yeah. Yeah,
but yeah, still a good win.
I mean, it's good wins all around, really. So, yeah, fantastic performance. They've moved them up the table, though, as well, right? So if we look at the ranking cross table, you can see that they might be in seventh, but actually, if you look at the tiebreak one, they're actually joint fifth at the moment, which is quite a good effort, really.
Yeah, they're competitive, right? You can never ask any more of a Welsh team. They're still going to play Ukraine, which will be a good opportunity for them as well.
Ukraine's an opportunity to play against a strong team, but they've got Albania to play as well. Now, Albania are only 2 points higher than them, so they might stand a chance against Albania. I think Ukraine's probably going to be too much. Okay. Let's have a look at some chess. Let's go, because this is what we're here for. We want to see. Let's make us a bit smaller. Show me, because I didn't play in Title Tuesday, so see what you've got.
Okay. So you can see?
Yep.
So these days, I can't really play the whole of Title Tuesday, just like generally tires me. So I played the first 4 games up to the break. And I'm pretty sure the last 2 weeks I've got 0 out of 4 in those 4 games twice in a row. So this week I was like, right, don't want to lose all 4. That'll be pretty annoying. And I did manage to win 2 of my first 4 games, both against Spanish players. And this is one I'm playing some IM with Black. And yeah, the games, I think this is round. It's not round. This is round 3. He plays this, and I was like, okay, don't know what to do. So I panicked and I played H6, John. I've revealed my Welsh Championship prep too early. But this game shows how this opening is supposed to be played, I would say.
Oh, so right, okay.
He takes goes knight c3, so it's pretty normal opening. E6. See, getting rid of his. Swapping these bad boys off.
He was wrong to take on d5. You just need to keep the tension against you. You can't stand it.
I'm really good tactically these days. just don't actually test me. Just take my word.
just don't test me.
So yeah, we get this. He goes bishop d3. And I was like, I'll have those. This is almost a flashback to my 4NCL game, right?
Oh god, but reverse colour.
Yeah.
So you knew actually what to do.
not really. It splits, isn't it? Just chuck any moves out there. So anyway, we develop. He goes rook b1. I'm like, minority attack. Stop that. Castle h3. e8. Knight d2. And I was like, so he kind of started a minority attack, and then he didn't do it. And he went knight d2, and then blitz. I was like, well, do you know what? I've played h6, and he's played h3. So he's got a weakness, and I might as well try and make this move useful. So I was like, let's go g4.
I thought you were going to do that when you said that like that.
Because it's like thematic. In for example, in a Rogozin, you play this way, and it's not a Rogozin, and there's lots of things different about it. But the pawn structure is kind of similar in some ways. So I was like, what's the worst that can happen? He checkmates me, like whatever. So b4, and I'm thinking his attack might be quicker, but he might create a weakness, whereas I'm going to go and checkmate him. g4. Right, no point stopping. He goes e4, which is interesting. Takes queen f4.
That's the move that you have to see, though, isn't it? Queen f4. If you don't have queen f4 there, I think you're in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, correct. You're kind of playing a bit on gut instinct. But yeah, it's one of those where I kind of need to make this work, though, right? Because if I don't, I'll create quite a lot of weaknesses. Like my queen side probably will collapse at some point. My king side, it's not very safe. Like all I've got is my g pawn, basically.
Yeah.
He gets rook e1, has to defend his knight. So take on h3, takes, and takes. And you know me, I love an endgame, so I'm keen to swap the pieces off. Take on d4. So I've won a pawn. My king is quite open, so I guess it's good he doesn't have a knight or maybe a dark squared bishop, but still I have to be fairly careful, I guess. He takes on b7. Oh yes, I'm not pawn up anymore. I remember.
Just realised that.
And now is like the, I guess, crucial moment. Is working out what I can get away with here, what I can't. So, for example, I can play something like rook b8, and he takes c6. I might take b4, but that's going to be at best to draw. Maybe with my open king, maybe white's even better in these kind of lines. If everything just gets swapped off. And if I just play rook a d8 again, lose my c pawn, win this back, like nothing's really happening here. So I went rook a2. Even though it looks a bit scary that none of my pieces are really defending my king. He's got a check, and you think it could be a bit drafty. But we'll see that actually my king's kind of short-term fine. So he goes rook e8 check, king g7. He doesn't have an immediate check, which is fine. So he plays rook f1 to defend f2. And here, see, I told you, John, that I'm good at tactics now.
Because you took on f2 and you went
rook
that way.
d1.
I was looking at taking on f2 first and then rook d1 check. Of course, rook d1 straight away. Very nice.
Wait, does that also work?
I don't know.
Nope, apparently not.
Yeah, it does. It's still slightly more black.
It's now 0.8 for white, whereas this
sorry.
is minus 37.6. You can't compare these.
Fair enough. It was the same tactic, just the other way around. I would have got there.
Yeah. I'll give you that. So rook d1, queen b6, and take that. Yeah, then I repeat the position because why not?
Because why not? Just to take the bit.
No, to be honest, John.
You didn't see it, did you?
You know what they say? Pat's a sees check, Pat's a plays a check. So I thought I'll check him. He came here. I was like, oh, actually, I don't know what to do now. So I checked him. And then I found it better. And then checkmated him.
Oh, very nice.
Nice win. That is a case, I think, of playing a dodgy move in the opening with h6, and then later thinking, well, instead of being a tempo down, how am I going to use this to my advantage? And I used it as a launch pad for a bit of a hack. And
the key thing here is that actually, even though your two pawns are split next to your king is actually more protected than his king is having the two pawns connected. It's actually hurt his king more.
It's weird, right? Because my back rank has nothing on it, and he could get his rook to check, but somehow my king's safe. And he had a rook on f1, and I still did him on the back rank. So it's kind of like the opposite of what should happen.
Yeah, I think your queen had more central control, whereas his queen was on b7, wasn't it? So it's kind of cut out because the c6 pawn blocked it. So yeah, I guess you get the pieces centralized. that kind of help.
Yeah.
Really annoys me though, Alex, that you've got 30 notifications there on your chess.com.
Why would I check my notifications?
Or I don't know why you would check them. Maybe somebody sent you a message.
It's like
want to talk
people
to you.
wanting to be my friend that I don't know. Like, we're not
Yeah,
friends, really.
yeah. People ask me for coaching and then stuff like that.
People don't ask me that. But yeah, that's my Title Tuesday update. It'll probably be a few months till I win another game on there, so don't expect another update for a while.
Yeah, I'm hoping to play a few more of those actually as it comes through. Okay, right. Well, yeah, some fantastic news, some really interesting things. We'll see how these ratings play out in the FIDE ratings. Good luck to those playing in the Junior Blitz this weekend, and also the Welsh Chess Premier League Open and Under 1850. But yeah, I think that's all from us tonight, Alex, and thanks very much for joining me. Thanks, Joanne, for making an appearance. I'm sure it was nice to see your face. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Please click follow, like, subscribe, whatever the button is, just give it a click for us. It helps us do more of these so we can pretend that we're popular. And yeah, I really would like to get some merchandise out, so if we can get a mug with my face on it. That says mug. I will definitely have that mug. If anybody's an expert on that, I would love that. Thanks very much for watching. See you all next week. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.